I have spent $20,000 on Love Coach and have spent over 300 hours on dates. And here are the things that I've learned that I'm going to share with you so you can save the money and meet your perfect partner. My name is Alina and I'm a next level lifestyle strategist. And on this channel, I share the secrets of successful people that I learned from working with celebrities and having been a rich kid myself. And don't forget to follow my channel because if you don't do it, we'll never meet each other again. First of all, you have to be very clear on how you want to feel when you have your person. How does it feel to be with them? Does it feel safe? Does it feel exciting? Does it feel calm? How do you want to feel? What kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be calm yourself? Do you want to be sexy? Do you want to be adventurous? Do you want to be all of them? Do you want to be crazy? I'll tell you what happened for me. I heard Erin Foster actually on a podcast say that when she met her husband, she said something crazy to him and he goes, "You're freaking crazy, but I'm down." And I said, that's what I want. I want to feel like that. I want to feel that I'm okay being crazy because, most women are feeling like we are crazy sometimes. And I'm okay with my crazy. We all have our crazy. And I wanted my man to be like, "Baby, you're so crazy and I love you." And guess what? That's exactly what my man says to me. And I love feeling that way because I can be myself fully. And I can be adventurous, I can be fun, I can be calm, I can be crazy, I can be any of it. So for me, it was a spectrum of all the colors. I wanted to feel all of them with him. I didn't want to tone myself down. And I also didn't want to feel bad when I just want to sit on a couch in my jammies the whole day, not leave the house, watch TV, and be okay with that. And him being like, "Oh, baby, do you want more ice cream?" And this is how I decided. This is how I wanted to feel. You have to decide how you want to feel, what kind of person you want to be with your partner, and then feel that, start feeling that right now. That's tip number one. So sometimes people ask me, is feeling who you want to be more important than wanting a person who is rich, for example? And I will tell you, well, what do you want to feel when you have that rich person? How do you want to feel when you have that rich person in your life? Do you want to feel abundant, that they shower you with gifts? Do you want to feel safe, that they will take care of everything? How do you want to feel? And you have to feel that right now. You have to treat yourself like that person right now. It's about a feeling. You don't have to buy yourself $1,000,000 gifts. You can buy yourself a cup of coffee and just feel abundant. You have to feel that right now. Sometimes women say, "Well, I like to feel the feeling of safety, like my man is my protector." You have to feel safe inside you. You have to feel like, wow, I feel safe right now. Imagine him with you and just feel the feeling of safety. Even if you're just at home under the covers, just feel that feeling of safety. Really become aware how good it feels to feel safe. It doesn't matter what you want, what kind of man you want. There is a feeling that you're craving, and guess what? You will be the one experiencing that feeling. And you know what I'm going to tell you about your ex? If you're thinking, "Oh, I miss my ex, I felt so safe with him," you were the one experiencing the feeling of safety. You were the one experiencing the feelings of fun, the feelings of euphoria, or whatever it is. You were the one who felt them. If you miss your ex, it's because you miss how you were being with them. It's all about how you feel inside right now. And on the other hand, a second tip is you have to be clear on what kind of person you want to have a relationship with. And you can only have 4 things that you can say that must-haves or deal breakers. Because once you feel like, I want to be with a man who makes me feel safe and he's generous so I feel abundant, then you have to imagine, well, what kind of man is it that you want to receive the connection with, so you can continue experiencing those feelings that you just cultivated in yourself. And we are not counting like, yes, he has to be single, he has to be available, he's not abusive. Those are not even considered as a must have or deal breakers. They're like having a car and you're buying a car that has four wheels and a steering wheel, like, and a roof. Those are must haves, like standards, okay? But we're talking about must haves like bells and whistles. So, for example, you can say, I want him to be this height, I want him to be a dancer, he's a not smoker, and I don't know, he wants to have kids or whatever. Those are your four bells and whistles. You cannot say he's also intelligent, he has a master's degree, he is well traveled, he has a trust fund, and he works, and da 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 da. It's gonna be too much, and probably a man like that does not exist. But if you decide that, yes, he is single and he is available and he's not abusive and he does not do drugs and he is not a cheater, again, standard, low bar, only for bells and whistles, you will meet a person like that, because you'll really get clear on what is most important. Now, I will tell you how I cheated the system a little bit, okay? So, my number one thing was he has to be curious. And here's why I decided it, because if he's curious, he's probably smart, because every curious person goes, oh, how does that work? How does this work? He will also be cool about me being a little woo-woo, and he'll be like, oh, that's interesting. And so he will be open to new experiences. When a man is curious, he will be rich, because he will have that rich energy, because he is looking for new things to learn. And for me, kindness. I figured if he's kind, he's going to be generous, he's going to be a good person, he's going to be loving if he's kind. So kindness and curiosity, to me, those were the two big things that I was looking for. And I'm not going to share my other two things, but you decide what you want, the bells and whistles, for things, either must-haves or deal breakers, but for things. The third secret is you have to say no to everyone who is not aligned to the first two things, right? Anyone who does not make you feel a way you want to feel, because sometimes you meet somebody and you're like, wow, he's really hot and he's really rich, but you don't feel inside your body the safety that you were experiencing on the couch when you were practicing. You have to say no to everybody who's not aligned. That's so hard. And my coach would say, like, Alina, he's not the guy. And I'd be like, but he's so cute. Alina, he's not the guy. Alina, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. And for me, it was so important, and I'm so grateful I paid the money, because she was like slapping my hand. She's like, nope, he's not the guy. Go check out a new person you meet online after they fit your must-haves and non-negotiables. But if you feel something is off, something is not aligned, nope, he's not the guy. And if you see that earlier, before you even talk to them on the phone or when you're swiping, if there's something misaligned, not the guy. Have to say no. That's third thing. The fourth thing is, it's so hard for so many women. You have to say yes to mediocre men online. Here's why. A really good, amazing person will never share everything about how amazing they are online, because it will just look fake. It will look so weird. And you can probably imagine, like, you're an awesome person. Like, are you going to list all of your personality traits, how amazing you are? Just because someone looks hot, it doesn't mean that they have the connection you're looking for. So saying yes to mediocre people who fit the criteria, right? And you have the four must-haves or non-negotiables. You just click swipe right. Swipe right. They don't make you want to throw up. Swipe right. And I know it sounds really funny, like, oh, they don't make you throw up. But if you don't have that, like, oh, that just feels awful. If they don't have that, swipe right. And they may not be like, oh my god, he's the hottest thing ever. Swipe right. As long as it don't make you nauseous and as long as it's aligned, swipe right. Because if you look at certain people who are so charismatic and so amazing, but if you just see them on the picture, you're like, would never even imagine what kind of person they really are. That should give you an idea that how many other men are out there that just look very mediocre online and then turn out to be amazing. My partner, when I saw him online, I'm like, he's cute, he's all right, whatever, swipe right, because he kind of fit the bill and I had nothing to lose. I just swiped right. And then we started chatting on the text. I'm like, oh, he's nice. Then we started talking on the phone. I was like, ooh, I really like his voice. And then we met in person. I was like, ooh, that's really aligned. And only ladies after, or men who, if you're men watching, Only after a month and a half after we connected online, I really saw how he was. And I was like, holy moly, like if I only knew how amazing you were from the get go, I probably thought you would be lying because I didn't think that would exist. So it takes time to get to know a person how amazing they are. So swipe right on mediocre people. Number five is trust your gut. And this is where when you see them looking good or looking mediocre and you talk to them online and you meet them in person, if you feel like something is off in your gut, it feels like a little red flag, or like, oh, that feels weird. Why did he say that? Or if you even just use the word or how he looked at you. If something doesn't feel right, trust your gut. Feminine energy lives from the neck down. You can feel it in your gut, and you probably know that your gut has never been wrong. Your mind has played tricks on you many times. Your gut, never wrong. The sixth thing is you have to do the inner work and heal the old patterns. Here's the thing. I've been working with so many clients over the last 16 years as a coach, and it is for everybody. When you are a little kid, you have your mom, your dad, your immediate family, you have siblings, you have the best friend, you have the nemesis. Those are the characters that are in the movie of your life. And then as you grow older, if you do not resolve some issues with them, they will be recast in new movies of your life, played by different actors playing the same exact characters. So if you never resolve things with your mom or you never resolve things with your dad, the significant others that show up in your life will most likely be playing them. And it's really interesting that we will still date people who at least a little bit resemble our parents because that felt safe to us. So you have to understand where it is a healthy one and where it's an unhealthy one. By one, I mean a pattern. If it's a healthy pattern and you're like, yeah, my dad brought flowers to my mom and I want a partner who brings flowers to me because I really like that, and I want a man or a woman, who resembles the goodness of my parents, go for it. But if there are people like every man I meet, he's a user, he uses me, he's an abuser, whatever, have to go back and see how your relationships were when you were a little kid and heal the patterns, heal the hurts, so the new people don't keep showing up playing the old characters, so that you can have a healthy relationship now. Number 8. This one is really, really cool. Feminine energy thrives in uncertainty. I love this one because it helped me through so many uncertain parts in my life. I literally was walking around. I was like, I hate uncertainty. I hate uncertainty. I hate uncertainty. And I was like, I love uncertainty. I love uncertainty. I love uncertainty. I hate uncertainty. I love uncertainty. So you just keep repeating it, but just know feminine energy thrives in uncertainty. You cannot create from certainty. You cannot create this planter from certainty that already exists. You can only create from uncertainty. So embrace the uncertainty because you can create anything you want from it. Next one, very important. Take yourself out on dates. Take yourself out on any date you want. I've been to restaurants on Saturday night, beautiful romantic places, sitting with myself at a table, laughing at my own jokes, buying myself anything I wanted. Oh, it felt so delicious because that teaches your nervous system how to be with yourself, how to be safe on a date, how you want to feel. And then when the guy takes you out and you're like, wow, this guy does not treat me nearly as good as I treat myself, then you're not dependent on that guy to be like, oh, nobody takes me out, I can never have fun without anybody. Yes, you can. Prove yourself. You can go to concerts. I've done that. You can go to ballet. Done that with myself. Go on trips. Done that with myself. Weekenders. Done that with myself. Treat yourself as you want to be treated. Go out on dates. The most important thing, the hardest thing for everybody, love yourself. Love, 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 love yourself. Really fall in love with yourself. And if you don't know how, I have a book, Single and Hungry. It was my first book. Since then I wrote others. But Single and Hungry, it still rings truth. It is a guide, a realistic guide to food and self-love. And it is how I learned to love myself. And if it wasn't for that, I would not be the person who I am now. I would not have the partner that I have. This book, I've read it. after I wrote it when I was struggling, and I was like, Alina, why are you struggling? You wrote the book, how to deal with that. So I actually reread my own book and I was like, wow, this is really good. So I decided to self publish. So you can buy it on Amazon. But listen, I did the work and it works. There were times when I couldn't even find one thing I liked about myself, let alone love. And I share how I dealt with that. And loving yourself is the most important thing, because let me tell you this, if you don't love yourself, you will only attract people who don't love you either.